Hey, we are live.
Have my
It's the user's guide to Article 5. I am Rubber Fingers, and joining me, Pagan Communist. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm okay. I did not have a beer, which would
Oh,
be my after work beer because
uh,
I started at 4:30. I
mm,
think I might crash and burn. I do that. Don't want to do that on the program. Want to keep my sense abilities about
we appreciate that. And yeah, you deserve that after work beer.
enough trouble.
You can have it after the show, I guess. You were kind of choppy a little bit there, but I think we can still hear you, but however you can do your connection be good.
I think I have not a very good connection today.
Yeah. Well, making up our episode, I didn't have a whole lot to talk about because I wanted to. I don't know. I do have a lot to say, and then, but I also kind of want to save some of it for after August 3rd. Um, and so,
Gonna keep a little powder dry.
yeah, exactly. Keep a little powder dry.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
You didn't mean what?
I didn't like mean to really interrupt you,
Oh
like,
no, you're fine.
and
Uh,
that, yeah,
we just
but there's an election. There's an
yeah.
election on August 2nd.
The election's August
Hmm?
3rd,
Mm.
and yeah, we have a lot to say about that election. I don't know. We can talk about it a little bit today. We could talk about people protesting
Well, we can
Congress
talk about
people.
the that we well we okay. Number one, we now have looked into the size of the district of that House of Representatives race
Mm-hmm.
that we are talking about that will be August 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
Pardon me, I did not want to steer anyone wrong. I
No.
don't know why I had August 2nd in my head, but I would not. It's on a Tuesday, so
Yes.
don't be voting on Monday. It's on Thursday.
Yes.
And I know they're doing the get out the vote this week.
Yes.
And I gave a little bit of money.
Oh, nice. Um,
Some, some.
and I do
Enough for
also
me, like,
have,
um,
fortunately, some interesting topics came up in my Google Alert email this week, so there is some stuff there to talk about.
okay, so that must have come. We had to postpone the show because at
Yes,
that time you hadn't had. I think it's been a busy week. But what it is
yes,
the size like of that district of the House of Representatives. That district, what you tell me, was 680,000 or 860,000, something like one of those. Did I?
yeah, no, 680,000 in
And
a.
that was as of the census last 10 years ago. That is not the current
I
census
think
number
that's
because
probably
those aren't
true.
out yet.
Right? Yeah.
They aren't out yet. So that's why they're working on gerrymandering
Yes,
as
and
much
it's
as
it
they
is a
possibly.
heavily gerrymandered district. It's shaped like a uh I don't know. It's like a big blob in Cleveland, and then a long, skinny neck that reaches down into part of Akron. Because, yes, we're talking about Ohio's 11th district. Heavily gerrymandered to be a strong Democratic district. Um,
Feeding them all in.
and yeah, we need to get rid of gerrymandering and The House could do that
Do you
by
think? Go ahead.
passing their resolution HR 1 or SB 1, the For the People Act, to get rid of gerrymandering and a bunch of other voting rights abuses. But they won't do that because of the filibuster and the Senate parliamentarian, which are things that um, the White House could be pressuring the Senate to get rid of the filibuster, and could be, well, they could just dismiss the Senate parliamentarian. They could fire them if they wanted someone who would do what they wanted, or they could just override them with a vice presidential vote. That's my understanding. Um,
You're getting ready to vote on the bipartisan infrastructure.
uh huh. The bipartisan
But I'm
infrastructure.
hoping, which is crap, the total crap bill. It's a
Yeah.
Trump bill. It's not for the people at all. It's for corporations.
Yep.
And I knew that McConnell was not going to not take it. That's just stupid on his part, and he wouldn't be that stupid. There's a lot of things he just
Yeah. Uh,
not like that. He's more savvy.
and speaking of the Senate filibuster stuff, that kind of leads into one of um, the first one of the Google Alert articles that I found this week. So I don't know if you want to just jump
Oh,
straight into that.
go for it.
Okay. I think, let's see. I think what I can do is show my screen, hopefully. Oh, wait, can I?
Exciting when you have the Google alerts.
Yeah.
It means there's some movement on something somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And hope that it's in one, but it seems like there's so much blockage everywhere.
There is. Um, oh, darn. Maybe I didn't set this up to have my desktop be shared. I thought I did. Hold on. Let me see if I can do it on the fly. Window capture. Here we go. This is the one. Okay. So we should be seeing. We should be seeing this article now. It's from a website called The Journal. Oh, why does it look so blown up though? That's not good. Um,
Probably because it's self important.
yeah.
That's why it's so blown up. The pun.
Oh gosh. Okay, let me close this out. I'm gonna clip this out anyway, so I'll edit all this junk out for the clip. Oh, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay. Yeah, the
So
problem is
the
it's because of ads. The ads are moving the text over to the side, so we can't see it. Remove that. Okay, let's just do screen capture, window capture. There we go.
well, it appears to be a wild and woolly weather season for everyone. Fires in California, and they're also now Oregon has a town that has run out of water. Their wells have gone dry.
That's terrible.
We thought it'd be like South Africa. No, the town in Oregon.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like. Go ahead. Sorry. Sorry. Go ahead.
Uh, I believe we are sorted out now. Hopefully. Oh no, it still looks. Oh my goodness. I think it's because I added all this on the fly. It may not work. This is shambles. This is all shambles here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to share this screen capture and make the text
We
actually.
might try to work on it for Sunday then, since we're so close. That's just 2 days. You know what I mean? If you can't get it to work
It's
on the
on it.
fly,
I
you
think
can.
better than that. We'll just talk about it, and we won't. I just won't show it on screen because it's not really important for people to be able to see it. I just need to read the text. It's just like it's just
Okay, what is it?
a paragraph.
I'm
Okay,
waiting.
so to introduce this article here, it's sort of a reading series for us. Things that come up in my Google alert for amendment convention, and this is from the Journal. It's just a website just called The Journal, or newjournal.com, nujournal.com. And this is written by Roger Bauman. And the title of the article is Abolish the 17th Amendment. So, pop quiz for everybody out there. What is the 17th Amendment? First of all,
That's the Senate one. No. That's
yes,
the Senate one? It's the Senate one!
it's the Senate one.
So he thinks we should have no two senators. We should have more senators?
No,
Less senators?
it's the direct election of senators.
Oh,
So
he wants
basically, yeah, he wants to
go back to
go back to
the governor gets to,
not the governor, but the state legislators, state legislature would elect the senators.
which is even worse than it is now.
That was my first reaction, and I still think it is my take on this is that it's a bad idea. I mean, it's less democratic, but I had a thought when I was setting up the stream, so I really still haven't quite digested it yet. There's some.
Don't know that it is either. I mean, totally a bad idea, but the bottom line is that we've seen how easy it was to buy state legislators and legislatures. I mean, like all of them. Like
Right.
that, we're talking about the Roe. Okay, Karl Rove. Karl Rove.
Uh huh.
We're talking about Karl Rove and what he did, and that was under basically Obama. So how long has this been going on? It's not like this is new. And that's my concern with that. The other thing is that what I thought today, and then I'll stop on this too. I mean, it sort of came to me because you and I had watched a video that said, "Well, it's no big deal if a House of Representatives, representative represents a million people," because
Right.
that's what senators do. But on average, if we have 100 senators and we have 350 million people as of the last census, so it could be more, but we did lose a certain amount with the
Right.
pandemic. I don't know. It will be interesting to find out what the numbers really are. Still, what is that? Isn't that 3.5 million or is that 35 million on average? I mean, like if you were to just divide 350 million by 100 senators, what is that on average?
Oh,
To
jeez.
feel representative. Yeah, that's like crazy amount. That's like way over a million.
it's definitely over a million per senator if you just divide it evenly like that. I mean, their districts are all going to be different sizes, but
Well, they're states because they're two
or yeah, I mean
states,
their
so the
states,
population will
yeah.
be, yes. I
But they
realize
still
that, but
have districts though too. Um, one senator represents like a certain part of the state that votes for them.
no, the whole.
No, because you only vote for one senator, right?
Well, that's because there's never any more than one running at one time in your state. That's the way they set it up, so that you
But
have
you don't vote
six.
if your senator is the one that's not coming up for election. Like me here in California, I don't vote for Dianne Feinstein because she's the Southern California senator. Kamala Harris was the Northern California senator. I forget the person who it is now.
They must have done that just in California because no, that's not in New Mexico, but we don't have enough people to have it worry, I guess. Because
Oh boy.
I voted for both Heinrich and Lujan, or or Udall. I didn't.
Hold on. We can't get this wrong, right? So we got to know this stuff. Okay, do senators have districts? Here's what Google has to say. Oh, so it is different by state. Some senators represent their entire state, but members of the House. Oh, no, it's not different by states. You're correct. Senators represent their entire state. So so you're right, I'm
Yeah.
wrong. Okay, thank you for that. For that
Okay.
correction.
All
I
right.
don't know why. I guess I
All
just
right.
I guess I just interpreted the different years for their elections as districts, but you are absolutely correct. Okay, so uh,
So you go
because
ahead
of
now with.
yeah, so because of the 17th Amendment, we have direct election of senators by the citizens. Before the 17th Amendment, it was done by the state legislatures. And this gentleman is saying we should go back to that. And at first I thought, oh, that's undemocratic. That's bad for democracy. That um, gives people less of a voice. I thought for a second, maybe it's not a terrible idea because part of the problem is that people are so uninformed when they're making these votes. And the argument that this person makes, let me just actually read a paragraph here about like that basically cuts to the whole point of his argument. And that is right here. He spends a lot of time talking about the convention because he's actually calling for a convention to remove the 17th Amendment, and we'll get back to that. But first, for the actual substance of the amendment he's proposing, um, wow, how can I not find it? Oh, because I'm in the
Sort of.
wrong article. Duh. Um,
So
okay,
is it sort of like the prohibition type of thing when they repealed it, or but they didn't
right.
what they did is that. Okay, go ahead.
That's what he's suggesting, that we should just abolish this, just repeal it, like they did the 18th with the 21st. So he's calling for a convention to pass another amendment to repeal the 17th. The funny thing that he doesn't mention, and I was about to leave this comment on this article, but it wouldn't let me leave a comment. And then I realized, oh, I don't need to leave a comment. I have a podcast I can talk about this on. You that this is the amendment that almost got a convention triggered because so many states were calling for this amendment for the direct election of senators that they almost had a convention for this amendment. So it would be very interesting to get another convention going to propose this amendment. And my guess is you could probably easily get Congress to propose this amendment that this guy's calling for. So I wonder if, I don't know, I wonder who's really behind this article. But here's his point. Let me give you his point now that I've mentioned that part. Okay, abolish the 17th Amendment. The state delegates that debated and wrote our founding document, the Constitution, spent weeks debating over the two-house system that represented both the people and the states. The House of Representatives were voted into effect by direct popular vote by the people, thus representing the people. Quote, the senators, two from each state, were appointed by the state legislators to represent the state. So he's saying that that's kind of a division of checks and balances. The people and the state are like different entities, and the state. So then he says the 17th Amendment destroyed that by having U.S. senators directly elected by the people. Now, I mean, they still represent the entire state, so they are still representatives of the state. It's just a different method by which they're elected, either by the people or by the state legislatures. So and the people do elect the state legislatures. So in a way, it's kind of the same thing, and that's what he says here. So let me keep on reading. Do the U.S. senators represent the state that elected them or their political party? Now that's a question. How many of you have the phone number of your U.S. senator where you can call or write them and they will answer? Can your state representative or state senator call them and will they answer? Most likely the answer is no. How many of you can call or write your state representative or state senator and have them answer? Most likely the answer would be yes. In more cases than not, you probably know them and them you. They live among us, the state representatives. My point is that if those U.S. senators were appointed by our state legislators, U.S. senators would definitely answer, meaning answer their phone calls, because state legislators are the very people who appointed them. They would be accountable to those state legislators, whom we, the people, elected. Can you see how much closer we as citizens can be? That's a weird sentence. Can you see how much closer we as citizens can be much closer to having a voice on the goings on in Washington, D.C.? So basically he's saying we, the people, have a closer relationship to our state legislators, and they have a closer, and they could have a closer relationship with the senators, as opposed to the people directly electing the senators. That makes them this far off, powerful entity that is not really accountable to the individual voters. And in some senses, that kind of makes sense. I mean, but the problem is how many people actually vote for their state legislators these days? Like, and maybe this is maybe that argument actually goes in his column, because if the state legislators voted for the senators, maybe more people would be interested in voting for those state legislators. But I think in today's climate, it wouldn't work out that way. People would actually just get more disassociated with the process. But I don't know. I guess I still kind of haven't made up my mind on what the answer is to his thing. My real solution, my real answer to his thing is just abolish the Senate. That would be way better. Instead,
That's what you wanted.
yeah, instead of, and that's what they should have done with the 17th Amendment. Instead of getting the direct election of senators, they should have just gotten rid of the senators altogether. Yeah, gotten rid of the Senate. But I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I my battery is getting really hot,
Uh-oh, on your phone?
so I may lose you guys. So I'll be quick.
Okay.
Well, all right. If the state legislators got to do that, and the state legislators got to pick the senators, then the state legislators are also the ones who call conventions. So if they were going to allow that to change, there had to be a big reason. So
Mm.
I would have to definitely study a lot more of that
Mm-hmm.
because this is the one that's always had the urban myth, or legend, as you guys like to call them,
Mm-hmm.
urban legends, that this is the one that got the closest to the convention. Really, none of us know because nobody's alive from that time.
Uh-huh.
And because states keep records of their own conventions, I mean, keep records of the conventions, and it's not, Congress doesn't until recently.
Mm-hmm.
To find that out means you have to go and detective every state.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Okay.
So that is my thought because I'm not going to just change something that's already been changed by the
Mm-hmm.
very people who were the ones that were able to do it. My thought is the people got pretty tired because there became a corruption system,
Right.
and the state legislators became very concerned about how serious a subject it was becoming with people. That's just my thought, but I don't know that, and I haven't researched it, and I don't. And I suggest to anyone who's listening to this podcast in the future, research it on your own.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that you're going to find much about it because being one of the user's guide to the Article 5, I haven't found much on it, and I have researched because we do that sort of thing
Uh-huh.
for this show, for the that's why we try to be, or we're at least see ourselves as a user's guide to the Article 5, and we're always trying to improve
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
with more knowledge.
I mean, I don't know if this person has done a ton of research. He doesn't mention the fact that the 17th Amendment is known as the one that almost went to a convention. Uh, he doesn't mention that at all. He does talk about people's, let's see. Actually, yeah, he does kind of briefly mention the Convention of States being promoted as scary, that the people who are powers that be doing their best to scare people, that it's a dangerous thing to do. But he says if we know our Constitution, you know the history and the intent of the founders, it's the only way that we, the people, can regain control over government. So he's right about that. He's clearly on the right side about the convention. So I commend him for that. I personally think abolishing the 17th Amendment uh, is not it's not the one that I would focus on. It might not necessarily be a terrible idea. It's not, yeah, I don't know why they focused so heavily on it back when they did focus on it, but people definitely really wanted it. And I could use more research on that. I don't know if he's done that research.
I mean, I have the research that I have done on that
Mm-hmm.
has come up with the fact that it is known, the urban legend has it.
Mm-hmm.
There's just not a lot of documentation on it because there hasn't been a lot of research on it because you have to go to every state and you're looking
Uh-huh.
back at records, and I don't know how good those records are either because lots have happened in certain states,
But it,
flooding and,
but
fires.
basically the purpose of it was to end like corruption, more or less.
I don't know. What they said was that it the it had a like grassroots movement of changing it from the state legislators to more of a direct vote.
right?
The people just feel that they were not getting that this layer of what it was is that um, it'd be more almost like the state legislators became the gatekeepers for the senators. Right now, you just have an intern being a gatekeeper. And if
Mm-hmm.
you want to go to their office in Washington, you can. So I don't give a shit if they don't want to answer your call. If you want to spend enough money, if you want to get in their face, you can.
Right.
You are allowed. You may go to jail because of it, but you can. It is
That's
still a. Go ahead.
I think
That's your
that's the
second
real.
topic.
I think that's the real knockout torpedo argument for why this is not a worthwhile movement, is because it doesn't fix the problem of the money, the corruption of money in politics. And that's why Wolfpack's amendment would be a million times better than abolishing the 17th Amendment. I mean, because you're still going to run into
The
the problem
congressional,
of money, huh? Or the
the
congressional apportionment
congressional
amendment would be a
apportionment
much better.
amendment,
Hmm.
yes, would be a much better solution. And that's
Uh
my
huh.
thought to this. And that instead of getting rid of the 17th, you dickhead, I'm sorry.
I don't know
Instead
enough.
of getting rid,
Yeah.
I didn't mean to be mean. I, but it's like they aren't really doing their research then. Because why do
Yeah.
you want to go, why do you want to make more work?
Uh huh.
I mean, I'm old. I look at really you think you got tons of time and you got tons of energy and tons of what? Because nothing's moved in 50 years.
Uh huh.
I mean, we've talked about that. Not there has not been a new amendment, proposed amendment to be sent to the states to be ratified in 50 years. The one we want to have ratified's been hanging around for 232 years or something, right?
Right. The congressional apportionment amendment. Hmm.
I mean, it's as old as dirt. It is the original. It's one of the
Yep.
original.
Article the
It's
first.
the
It's the
last
the original.
original. It is number one.
Oh wow, we're having
So
real
why isn't
problems with our stream right now. I'm having OBS link issues, probably because I tried to add that scene on the fly. Oh, what the? This is shambles. This podcast is already off the rails. Whatever, it's okay. I don't care if we lose our
we could
back. We
we
just
could
lost our
we could
background temper. It's okay. I don't care. This show.
could
It's
also
not really
because every
about.
time we talk about this CAA, I'm
Mm,
telling you, there's
it's not really about
we
the
get
visuals, so the visuals don't really matter.
it's and we haven't read the Article 5 yet today.
That's
So we
true.
should do that very quickly.
Okay, is
And
that
we
enough
might do
about
that as
this?
our closing because I've got it. I've got it. So I'm good.
Okay, that's enough
I can
about
do
this
it.
guy's 17th Amendment idea, genius idea that
Well, I mean, I don't think it's, I mean, yeah, I mean, where'd you come up with this one? There's so many more other
I
good ones
know.
that are so much better than that. So anyway,
Yeah, it's
on
not
this,
even.
on that
Okay, yes, go ahead.
note, the Congress, whenever two-thirds of both houses shall deem it necessary, shall propose amendments to this Constitution, comma, or, comma, see, on the application of the legislatures of two-thirds of several states, shall call a convention for proposing amendments, which, in either case, shall be valid to all intents and purposes, comma, as part of the Constitution. I think that's an odd place to put. When ratified by the legislators of three-fourths of several states, or by conventions in three-fourths thereof, as the one or the other mode of ratification may be proposed by the Congress. Now we have a semicolon. Provided that no amendment which may be made prior to the year 1808 shall in any manner affect the first and fourth clauses in the ninth section of the first article, and that no state, without its consent, shall be deprived of its equal suffrage in the Senate.
Yes. So at least people are talking more about Article 5. I will say that is something that is growing in popularity. Uh, people are calling for conventions, even if they're calling for conventions on stupid topics like abolishing the 17th Amendment.
Well,
Uh,
yeah, and that to me is just sort of a way to, whatever support you have convention. Let's just call for as many like crazy crap as we can to just divide everybody up. I mean, yeah, we
mm-hmm.
all say you amendment, pick your amendment. Okay, you can do that. He's doing that, but that one is like it's kind of silly. I mean, you've
Yeah,
already changed it once.
yeah, and it
I
wouldn't
mean,
really,
normally,
it wouldn't fix anything. I mean, no, it's going backwards. Now that we've put it like in those terms, it's ridiculous. It's not even really worth considering. I just thought it was interesting that people are coming up with more ideas. Like more people are just desperate for some kind of a change. And obviously the Senate is broken, but I think a much better amendment would just be to abolish the Senate. I would be all for that amendment. Just abolish the Senate. Are you still there? I think we lost Pagan Communist. So I guess let's wrap it up. It's a short episode this week. Had some technical difficulties, but we will call it a day. I'll save my other article for next week, or not even next week until Sunday. So we will be back on Sunday, 2 days from now. Until then, keep hope alive with Article 5.